So over time, I've been hearing people ask me questions like, oh, I have a visitor's visa. Can I come to Canada and convert it to a work visa? Is it possible to do that? Oh, the minister announced, we read on the news, blah, 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 and all of that. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at, is it possible to convert your visitor's visa to a work permit while you're in Canada? Stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's a brand new day and it's your girl Suleeha here again. If you're just stumbling on my channel for the first time, my name is Suleeha and I'm a Nigerian YouTuber residing in Ontario, Canada. My content spins majorly on immigration talks to Canada. It also includes some daily vlogs and just typical talks and here and there. If you're just stumbling on my channel for the first time, do not forget to watch my other videos and do not forget to stick around to subscribe. I promise you it's going to be content over content. Thank you. So in 2022, during COVID, the Canadian government brought out a policy, like a temporary policy, that would allow foreign nationals who are in Canada as a visitor to remain in Canada if they have a job offer or if they have a valid job offer from a company. They are allowed to remain in the country and convert their visitor's visa to a work permit visa. This was supposed to be a temporary policy that was supposed to mitigate the effect of employers not having a lot of people to work for them during COVID. Initially, the policy was supposed to end in February of 2023, but recently, there was an announcement by the government that the policy was going to be extended to 2025. In effect, what does this mean? This simply means that any foreign national with a Canadian visitor's visa can come into Canada under a visitor's visa with the intention, or when they have a valid job offer from a company, that is, a company is willing to sponsor them to come and work for them. So somebody that has a visitor's visa and also have a valid job offer in Canada can come to Canada on that visitor's visa, or while they are in Canada on a visit, remain in Canada and convert their visitor's visa to a work permit. This, when the announcement came out, a lot of people believed that, oh, you can come into Canada while you have a visitor's visa and you can just convert your visitor's visa to a work visa. Yes, it is possible, but there are certain conditions, there are certain criteria that you must meet before you can just come into the country with a visitor's visa with the intention of converting your visitor's visa to a work permit. There are certain criteria and eligibility requirements that you must meet up to before you can do that. So before moving on into the conversation, talking about steps and eligibility criteria, I would also like to clarify that when you apply for a Canadian visitor's visa, it is always with the intention that you would be going back to your home country. It should never be with the intention that you want to relocate permanently or you want to legally go on a visitor's visa and then convert it to a work permit. That is not a good intent when you're applying for a visitor's visa. Yes, it can so happen that while you're on your visit to Canada, you applied for jobs and you're lucky to get a job. It can so happen that way. That is possible. But do not let your intention while you are applying for a visitor's visa be that you are going to Canada with a visitor's visa to get a work permit. It might not work and you might struggle. So let's move on to how you can apply, or what are the eligibility criteria in being able to convert your visitor's visa to a work permit. Let's get right into that. So the first thing is the applicant must have a valid visitor's visa as at the date of applying for their work permit. That's, you must have a valid visitor's visa, you must have a legal status in Canada. A temporary resident visa, you must have that. The second thing is that applicants must have a job offer that is supported by an LMIA. And I'm going to explain what an LMIA means subsequently in this conversation. But the second thing is that an applicant must have a job offer that is supported by an LMIA, LMIA or LMIA exempt. Like, there are some jobs that you do not need LMIA for. You can come into Canada, apply for a work permit. You do not need LMIA for that. There are some criteria of jobs like that. But for this particular one, it's either you have an LMIA job offer from a specific employer, or you are exempted from, having an LMIA, but you could still apply for a work permit. The third thing is that you must submit an application to the Canadian government for your work permit, specifically, talking about the fact that you got a job, you have an LMIA from a specific employer, and this is your document to show that you have an LMIA. You must submit that document to the Canadian government before the 28th of February 2025, because like I said, the policy is a temporary policy that was extended from 2023 to 2025. And finally, you must also meet up to all the admissibility. You must meet up to all the criteria, all the admissibility criteria of applying for a visa. So it doesn't mean that automatically you are going to be granted this visa. It also still need to follow the due procedure of applying for a visa. Which brings me to the next thing, which is talking about what is an LMIA. Why is an LMIA a very important aspect of, converting your visitor's visa to a work permit? And it's simple. An LMIA is a document that a Canadian employer needs to get from the government before they can hire foreign workers. It is so simple. The LMIA is just a document that an employer needs to be able to proceed in hiring foreign workers. And the process of obtaining an LMIA, it's a whole different process entirely. It is different. It is, what it entails basically is that the employer applies to the ESDC, that's Economic Social Development Canada. They apply to that. After applying to that, they state categorically that they've advertised the job offer. No Canadian or no PR person has applied and gotten the job. And, they are looking out to give out the job roles to foreign workers to come into Canada and to come and work in Canada. The body that will issue the LMIA is also the ESDC. After they've checked everything, they've seen that, okay, this company can go ahead and hire foreign workers. A positive LMIA basically would, it would include all the information. It would tell you that, okay, no Canadian or PR is able to do the job, which is why a foreign worker is the process of bringing in a foreign worker to come and work in Canada for that company. And once everything is done, once it is approved, the candidate would be given the document to apply for the work permit. And very importantly is to state that LMIA, you do not pay an employer for an LMIA. You don't pay an employer for an LMIA. The LMIA in its entirety is being applied for by the company that is hiring that worker. So explaining further, if anyone tells you that you need to pay for something, you need to pay for LMIA, it is not true, because the company that is willing to hire you would foot the bill of applying for the LMIA. That's the first leg of it. So the employer would be the one to pay 1,001 Canadian dollars. The 1,000 is for the LMIA processing fee. That's the LMIA request. And the $100 will be for the privilege fee. It is solely the responsibility of the company to apply for the LMIA and to, get the LMIA for the worker that they intend to hire. So the applicant must be really, really worth it for an employer to go ahead and pay 1,001 Canadian dollars for a certain applicant to come and work in Canada. The applicant must be worth it. And here is the catch. A lot of people are being told to pay a certain amount of money so that they can process the LMIA for them and all of that and all of that and all of that. It is not meant to be. LMIA are not sold. If you do that, if a company does that and you pay for the LMIA, it is breaking the law and it is breaking the rules. So nobody should be telling you to come and pay for a certain document when they know that the hiring company has already showed proof that no Canadian and PR is able to do the job, and they're going far above being in Canada to hire somebody to come and work for their company. They've proved that, and they should be able to bear the brunt of that. A lot of people fall into scams and all sorts of things because of the fact that they are being told that, oh, you know what, we're going to apply for LMIA for you and we're going to get you a job. But it doesn't work that way. The company is supposed to be the one that would bear the brunt of everything. So let me just break it down and let me just, explain in summary. You have a visitor's visa, you come to Canada. A visitor's visa does not guarantee you to work in Canada. A visitor's visa alone cannot enable you to work in Canada. So don't think that because you have a visitor's visa, you can come and work in Canada. No. So once you have your visitor's visa, you come on a visit to Canada, you are lucky, you get somebody to sponsor you. Oh, no, you get a person that is willing to give you a job offer. And that job offer, it is backed up and sponsored with an LMIA. In that case, you are good to go in applying for a work permit while you are in Canada on a visitor's visa. So that's just the small details about the whole thing. You don't need to go back to your home country to apply for a work permit. You can remain in the country while you apply for your work permit online. So that's just the gist about it. And well, this policy, I think, was made in such a way that visitors who are in Canada have gotten a job offer, it just eliminates that aspect of the fact that people need to go back to their home country to apply for a work permit. Why not just remain in the country while you are validly and legally in the country and convert and apply for a work permit while in the country? I think that was why the policy was created, to cushion the effect of people having to go back to the home country to apply for a work permit. So in conclusion to this video, is it doable? Is it possible to convert your visitor's visa to a work permit while in Canada? Yes, it is possible to convert your work permit, your visitor's visa, to a work permit while you are in Canada. All it just takes is to look at the eligibility requirement, look at the step-by-step. Do not have a preconceived intention to come to Canada on a visitor's visa, to come and convert it to a work permit, because ordinarily an applicant is only meant to stay for 6 months in Canada while you're on a visitor's visa. You are not allowed to go beyond, unless of course you extend to stay in Canada. But know that 6 months is very risky for you to get a job, get an LMIA, because of course we all know the procedures of getting LMIA. The job has to be advertised. No Canadian or PR is able to do the job before it gets to you. So if you feel that you already have a job offer back from home and it might take a while for you to apply for your work permit, you can travel on your visitor's visa and come into the country to apply for your work permit. That's actually perfect. Or if you by chance, you are solid, you're brilliant, you come into Canada on a visitor's visa and you're lucky to find a sponsor that is willing to sponsor you, that is so perfect as well. So like I said in conclusion, do not let anyone sell you fake dreams. Do not let anyone tell you that, oh, you know what, I'm going to purchase LMIA and I'm going to sell it to you. They are taking advantage of you, and that might even be a scam. Do you get what I mean? So apply, look out very well. Do not just fall into victim all in the name of the fact that, oh, I have a visitor's visa. Someone tells me to come into the country, they will convert the whole thing for me. I do not want anybody to struggle while trying to, find a better life. So that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you've been able to learn a thing or two, and I will see you guys back in my next video. Bye.